Thanks for being here with us today. I'm Craig Ncatc, the CEO and Executive Director of the National Coalition of Advanced Technology Centers, Ncatc. And this is our monthly webinar series for our strategic partners with one of our newer strategic partners, HEIDENHAIN. And looking forward to having Gisbert share with you all the great things they're doing globally, but also especially with our network of community colleges and technical colleges in the United States. Next slide. I just want to give you all a real quick overview. Some of you might know, I see Greg and Brian and a few other people, Jarlath here, that know us pretty well. But the four pillars of Ncatc are really these. The future of work, Industry 4.0, X.0, as it keeps going. That includes smart manufacturing automation, whatever term you use. That's deep into what we have been doing for the last decade. Coupled with pillar number 2, work-based learning. And I think you'll hear a lot about that today from Gisbert and the German apprenticeship model and things that he's been experienced with and also came from. Those apprenticeships, internships, co-ops, and even entrepreneurship are a big part of what Ncatc focuses on with our membership. And competency-based education, where applied skills and knowledge are really at the forefront of education and training. But if they are coupled with industry-recognized credentials and certifications, makes it even better a lot of times for the community and the students, as well as the industries hiring them. And last but certainly not least is our diversity, equity, and inclusion wrapped around everything we do. With adult learning, making sure that underserved and underrepresented populations are part of the recruiting and training mix every day in our membership. Next slide, please. Want to make sure everybody knows we've got over 165 community and technical colleges in 38 states across the nation, from Hawaii to Maine to Florida. This map represents those members, but also 48 corporate strategic partners. And I'll talk about those in just a minute. But HEIDENHAIN, like I said, is one of our newer ones. And we're really proud to have them here today to share with you what they're doing in the world of manufacturing and applied technology. Next slide, please. We also work very closely with 8 of the 18 Manufacturing USA Institutes, MIIs as they're called. And those are represented with the little red hats or triangles. Those are all Department of Defense oriented. Everybody from the first one in Ohio for America, called America Makes, that they focus on 3D additive manufacturing, 3D printing, all the way through NextFlex out on the West Coast for flexible electronics, the robotics group out of Pittsburgh called ARM, IACME for composites, etc. All those we work with directly and sit on their advisory committees for education and workforce development. Those are really important as we share back and forth with our community colleges, what they're doing and what the MIIs need for workforce development at the community college level. Next slide. I mentioned our strategic partners. Won't ask you to study this, but it's on our website. This is a master list of our logos. As you see, HEIDENHAIN's in the middle, but it's alphabetical from AACC. We are an affiliated council for the American Association of Community Colleges, and they work with us every week on best practices in the field on what we do and focus on. With that, I'd like to go to our next slide, take a sip, and introduce Gisbert Ledvon. He is the Director of Business Development and Machine Tools for HEIDENHAIN. I will tell you right now, and you'll learn this, but he was born in Germany. And in beginning his professional training, he was an apprentice at Tool and Die Vocational College in Augsburg, Germany. But he's lived in the United States for many years. He hails out of Schaumburg, Illinois, and has been there for quite a long time. Over 3 years of extensive corporate industrial machine-based experience. He's working with the HEIDENHAIN CNC control models, also referred to as TNCs, which is the touch screen version. They're growing market share in North America, and that's a big part of what he'll share with you today. He's charged with leading a team of 5-axis machining, programming, and technology specialists in North America, again, based in Schaumburg, Illinois. And he's also spent some time in the EDM industry, a very big background with Charmise. I know Harry Moser, who used to be the president and CEO of that group. He's now doing a lot of great things in the country for reshoring manufacturing and has been for the last decade. And so I have a feeling Gisbert knows Harry quite well. We didn't talk about that, but Gisbert also supports the American Association of Manufacturing. I'm sorry, the Association of Manufacturing Technologies, AMT, who serves on our board of directors, and NTMA, also the National Tooling and Machining Association, who's a big part of our network. Without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Gisbert and have him start off today with our strategic partner presentation. Gisbert, it's all yours. Thank you.
Okay, so hope you can see my screen. Greg, if you could give me heads up on that.
You're good.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here today with you, and hopefully I can make a little contribution to give you a little idea about what new teaching and training technology Heidenhain is engaged with to help you to bring your school to the next level. Thanks for the introduction, Greg, so I don't have to say much about me. Digging right into the agenda. So we want to talk a little bit about what type of training tools are available to you as a school. And I think there's a lot of competition out there now between schools. So I want to give you some insights, what you could maybe do to get ahead of your competitors. I will talk a little bit about Heidenhain, big history about our company, give you a little overview what I see in the industry, what are the challenges today, and how we can help with that. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about different solutions because every school has different budgets. So we can start all the way from DRO technology all the way to 5-axis, digital twin, and machine monitoring. So we're going to touch on that. So Industry 4.0 will be our topic as well. And we'll talk about virtual classroom, utilization, and what we have there to show you, and what other schools are already using. And then I will talk about some schools we're working with and some other industry partners throughout North America. So a little bit about Heidenhain. I'm going to make this quick. Basically, very long tradition. Founded in Berlin in 1889. Was involved in metal etching, and that's part of our core business still today, where we are able to etch glass and metal, what is used in motion control technology. So after the World War II, Heidenhain moved down to the southeast of Bavaria, and you can see this here. It's right on the border to Austria. So basically between the Hofbräuhaus and Mozart, the music. So that's where Heidenhain is, right on the Scheme Lake. And you can see here in the middle of this picture, the town basically grew around Heidenhain. We grew, and we have about 4,000 people now in Germany, and we manufacturing most of our components right in there. And you will have a little closer look at the factory here, where we make most of our components. We have some supply components, of course, like microchips and so forth, but down to the bearings, we make them ourselves because we need that high precision. And the only way to reliably make those, we figure we do that ourselves. So that's a little overview. Then here's a little bit about the machine tool components. And you might not know a lot about Heidenhain, because we're going to focus more on the user interface side or the operator side. But Heidenhain is known for linear scales. You find them on all high precision machine tools, even in chip making applications, where you have stations to produce microchips, angle and rotary encoders, also out of glass to a certain degree for maximum accuracy. And then the control technology, we're going to talk about that quite a bit. But I think this is one of the best kept secrets. The last one here is the Touchpro Technology Heidenhain offers. And a lot of people don't know about that. And we have some very nice technology on that, where, for example, we have collision protection. So specifically, that's nice for schools. If you use touch probes, the kids maybe hit those. and you don't want to spend $4,000 or $5,000 to replace them. So Heidenhain created a collision protection on those touch probes. So they're very popular in schools and some other 5-axis application areas. A little bit about the control technology. I think that's the big difference between a Heidenhain control and other control systems out there. If you look at 1976, that's when we got into this technology. This technology was developed in the workshop with the operators, the end users, the student, the tool maker, the machinist kept in mind. And that's how we developed these controls. And that's where you will see also there's a lot of intuitive things on there, what other control systems don't necessarily offer, because they came out of a production environment, what is a completely different approach where you rely more on CAD/CAM technology to drive your motion control. So two things I want to point out today is these are all Heidenhain companies. Everything what has to do with motion and has to be measured, from wind turbines to elevators, all the way to medical devices and machine tools, of course. Heidenhain has a recognized brand in there. So I'm not going to focus on the right-hand side of the slide. I'm focusing on Heidenhain, and I'm focusing on Accurite. Accurite is probably known by a lot of you as an American brand, and Heidenhain acquired Accurite, I think, in the late 80s. And we're producing actually the Accurite CNC control right here in Schaumburg, where I'm located. And we're proud to do that as an American product. You don't have that many controls systems made in the United States anymore. From a support point of view, we are located all over North America, starting all the way in the north in Ontario, Canada. Chicago is the headquarters for the Midwest. And then we have our second headquarter in San Jose, where we're focusing more on the semiconductor business industry. And then, of course, Mexico, where we also have a location for customer service and sales. This is our location. Here we're housing the manufacturing of Accurite here in the back. We have our training facility in here, and our service and parts support division is housed in this building as well. We're about 30 minutes away from the Chicago O'Hare Airport, so you can easily reach us. So you're more than welcome. If you want to visit us, you can always come in, and I show you around. So I think a lot of schools doing a great job of training people and buying equipment and using equipment. But I think we have to rethink how we're going to work in the future. Because if you continue to do the same thing all over again and expecting different results, it's not going to happen. So I encourage you to think outside the box a little bit, because here's a few statistics I want to share with you quickly, and you know that probably better than I do. But this is something what I got from the Cook County Bureau of Economy Development here in March. As you can see here, manufacturing is a hot ticket. There's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of potential of growth. And as we all know by now, the supply chain is a big issue, and manufacturing is becoming more and more important in the United States. There was also a survey done where companies were asked to give us some information about what is their biggest needs, what do they suffering the most with. And as you can see here, these boxes in blue represent basically the response rate of more than 50%, where these companies feel an urgent importance to be addressed. And then the green is somewhat below 50, between 40 and 49%. So the two arrows you see here is really to drive productivity, efficiency in our processes. So that means the kids, the students we're bringing out of the school need to be understanding what are the most efficient ways to make parts, what is the latest technologies to do that. We can help you with that. And as you can see, number 5, clearly they can't find and keep the skilled workforce. So that's something we certainly we'll talk about in the next couple of minutes on here. Because if you dig a little bit deeper into this situation, what the industry is facing, they're finding and keeping skilled professional CNC operators. I don't call them blue-collar people because they really have to be highly skilled in order to operate a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $1 million machine tool. So to just call them operators or blue-collar people, I don't think is really fair, because these are really skilled professional people. So you want to make sure they go into an environment where they're excited about in your school, but also at the shop. They want some empowerment. These new generations, they want to have some input. They don't want to just take a CNC program, push a button, and cut a part. And they also want to see a career path. What does it take me to get from an operator to a programmer to maybe a supervisor or a manager? The global and the domestic competition is more and more critical in our industry. So we need to add value. We need to do things differently. It doesn't help us to educate operators on 3-axis machines when the industry is looking for people who need 5-axis experience. So we need to think about those trends. So we educating the right team of people, so the industry really will go to your school to look for those people. And certainly we will need to optimize our cost. The reshoring trend, as Greg pointed out, Harry Moser is a good friend of mine. He's actually responsible that I'm in this country. He brought me over to the United States through the Xiaomi group at the time. So reshoring, what does that mean? In the industry, we have to machine more complex parts. The delivery time is becoming a big issue. We cannot have 3, 4, 5 setups anymore. You want to do a 5-axis machining to do faster delivery times, one setup, because you have limited time of operators. And you need a lot of flexibility, because you never know what's coming in. If you have large lot sizes, small lot sizes, you have 2 pieces, 5 pieces. So you need to teach the kids also flexibility in manufacturing. And then certainly digital manufacturing is becoming a big issue, or a big challenge in the industry. Everybody needs to track processes, specifically the medical, aerospace, automotive industry, less paper. So you want to electronically put information back and forth between your machine control, and you want to be very efficient in order to get a big ROI or fast ROI of your investment. And then the flexibility in the manufacturing process. Like I pointed out before, small lot sizes are important. You want to make sure that that first part is coming off the machine perfect. You want to have in-process inspection capability. So the kids have to learn how to use a touch probe to measure a part maybe on the machine before it goes to a CMM. So it can be maybe remachined before you take it off the machine if there's one dimension out of tolerance. And you want to have a flexibility and give this empowerment to the kids so they can program also on the machine, so they can make a part and really machine it right there and then, so they feel that they accomplished something. So keep all that in mind when you make your next investment and utilize your next training tool. And the reason why I say that about this empowerment, Heidenhain in Germany has about 240 apprentices every year in different ages, and you can see they're fairly young. They're starting out being 16 years old, and they're going through a 3 to 4 year program with school and practical hands-on training. So we're putting a lot of emphasis on that, and therefore we're also developing a new era of training tools for our own training, but also technology we're sharing with schools and trade schools in Europe and in the United States as well, and hopefully with you down the road. So let's step a little bit back. As I said before, not every school has a big budget to put a 5-axis machine into their shop to get really the highest level of manufacturing technology into their school. What we have from a Heidenhain perspective together with Acorite, we can help you to equip your manual machines with digital readout solutions. We can upgrade your old Bridgeport machine to become a full-blown CNC, because we convert those machines by replacing ball screws and motors on those axes to become a CNC. And with the conversational language we have on these controls, it's very easy for the students to learn on a manual machine to run a CNC program. The next level we offer is programming stations with digital twin capabilities. So for the next level of your students to get into full CNC technology, maybe high speed 5-axis. And of course, if you want to get into mill turn applications, we offer solutions for these high-end machines where you have multiple functionality, not only milling, but also turning. And then to connect everything, we also can help you with what we call our connected machining solution, or the digital manufacturing shop floor, where we have technology and software where you can monitor machines, you can monitor jobs, you can prepare jobs, and we can put that all together, and we help you to also teach kids at early stages to learn about Industry 4.0. So when they go out in the industry, they know what this all means. So you're not going to be alone. We have a lot of people here to support you. This is my team. We have application engineers, we have business development people, we have teachers to help you or your staff to basically learn all this, and we can help you with getting into that. So one thing I really want to spend some time on is the Heidenhain Training Academy, or what we call now the Heidenhain Technical Academy. This is something you could become part of, and I'm going to all these 3 stages, but one is the top one on the top right here. What is the Heidenhain Training Partner? So we have some schools now who teaming up with us, and they become a Heidenhain Training Partner. So we're certifying their staff to be able to train on Heidenhain controls and helping the local industry to get their next generation operators trained and make some money, because they charge them for the training, and it's all their income if they want to use that. But there's one thing what is really inexpensive and something is very powerful as a training tool, what we call the Heidenhain Interactive Training. And I'm going to go quickly through this software, and I will give you a little demonstration as well. So it's basically a software what is developed by Heidenhain. It's based on a Moodle platform, what is widely used in a lot of universities. You can easily operate and learn basics of CNC, not necessarily only about Heidenhain, but also can self-study, and there's also testing involved in these training modules for your students, if you like. So it runs on HTML5, very simple. You just have a browser, Edge, Chrome, Firefox, Safari. It runs also on mobile devices, and it's very fast, very nicely programmed, so it's very interactive. The content is basically prepared by us, and there's videos, tutorials, animations, and I will show you that later. There's also capabilities of bringing up a print to program right on the system with either the Heidenhain programming language or ISO programming language, whatever you prefer. We can do both, and the student can practice programming, and he can also then simulate on the programming station what he just programmed to see that live. We can also bring up a real control. That means this is how you would see it on a full-blown $500,000-$600,000 5-axis machine. The control can be brought up. You can do a 3D simulation. So when you do more complex parts, to avoid any type of collision or mistakes you might make in the programming. That also comes with this Heidenhain Interactive Training keyboard. So it's a real keyboard what you would have on the machine with all the buttons, all the functionality keys, what is ergonomically nice, sitting right on your desk, so nothing like vertically. It's really ergonomically designed, so the students can sit at the desk, connect a screen to it and a computer, and you get really a full-blown CNC simulation and programming station. So why would you use this? There's no license cost because it's an open source technology. So you're buying basically the software license from us, and then you basically can renew this. There's also a free demo version, and it's really easy to configure. The system is self-guided. There's programming examples in there, and you also get like a PDF file you can download and print as a book if you like to. So this is how that would look like. There's interactive workbooks with screenshots. It's also for testing and exercises, questionnaires and pictures included, drawings with dimensions. So it's all basically in there. So you can get this for 3-axis milling, 3+2-axis milling. You can get it for turning applications, and you can get it for English, French, Italian, Korean, Dutch, Polish, Portuguese, and Russian. So, and Spanish, of course. So if you have students from foreign countries and they're coming here and they want to become professional machine operator, you can just switch to their language and they can continue in their own language to understand the process maybe better and learn quicker. But then also it's available again when it gets to the more complex stuff. We're stopping at German and English because I think when the fundamentals are done, you can jump on from there. So I want to give you a very quick demonstration of the software. So I just brought this up in my browser here. You have basically guided through this. So CNC fundamentals. If I click on this, I can see what a coordinate system looks like. I can click on that. I can look through that. I get the understanding of a coordinate system. There's movies and animations in here. So for example, if I will explain what is an X, Y, Z axis, I can let that video run, have a better understanding, and we're also explaining what we call the right-hand rule. So everybody knows what is X, what is Y, and what is Z. So very easy to remember, and it's a good tool for the students to use their own right hand to remember these functionalities, and then go into the next section to talk about 5-axis. You can also go into machine axis again in here, where we go through the different configurations of what type of machines are out there. So a very useful tool to explain to the students what are different machine components, what are different machines look like. You can explain the different functionality, how guideways are set up, and what are the advantages or disadvantages to do and utilize different technologies that way. Another way is what type of milling machines are out there, like a horizontal, vertical, multi-axis, 5-axis, and so forth. So every individual concept in kinematic is explained, and is also something the kids will learn. We also go into technology fundamentals. You know, what is a machine tool? What is a coordinate system? What is climb milling, for example? Explanations to do that. What is the advantage? What are the disadvantages? So it not only has to do with HEIDENHAIN technology or training people to learn HEIDENHAIN controls, it has to do also with fundamentals. And at the end, when they're going through the course, there is a knowledge test. So that means when you create your own virtual classroom, your student can go in there, take the test. When he passes the test, he can go to the next level. If he doesn't pass the test, he has to take the test again before you let him go from a 3 to a 3+2 training section. So I encourage you to go on the HEIDENHAIN website. You can download the free demo version on that if you're interested. and you find some more information on the website on that. So it's very cost effective. It's available in different languages. No installation really necessary. It runs standard on the web browser. Easy to use in the classroom license. You as a teacher can also add your own content if you like to do that. So you're staying on the same platform to teach your kids. Maybe if your own material that's easily to be integrated into the HIT platform. And you can use this as a programming station and demonstration. So when you decide to go into that direction, we will here support you with our own training center. As you can see here, we could teach your staff, whoever wants to learn more about this technology. You could get these same simulators in your school, and we have special programs for that. I will show you that. And we have also full, what we call the Applied Technology Center set up here with multiple 5-axis machines. As you can see here, there's a Kern machine. It's the top of the line 5-axis machine you probably can buy in the market with the highest precision and highest speeds and feeds, all the way down to a 3-axis simpler DMG machine, or here a high-performance Hermler 5-axis machine. We have preset stations, so we can teach you and your students, if you want to bring them in to us, what the technology is all about. Even if you might not have that technology at your school, we open to bring you in and do a training session for all of you. What we also do is workshops. So if you ever think your school wants to attract more people, bring parents in to get them excited about this technology, we offering workshops, we organizing invitations, we inviting some of our partners from the CAM side, from the machine tool side, and we can do presentations for you at your facility to open up the school for you. We also have the training partner program. This is an example from a community college out in Denver, Colorado. And they invested in 2 5-axis machines. You can see them down here. And they have HEIDENHAIN training set up like I just showed you. Their teachers are certified. We certify them every 2 years, so we make sure they're staying on the latest technology, latest software version. And they're offering on their website now HEIDENHAIN training. So they're generating some additional revenue, and they're also offering now a full-blown apprentice program in the Denver area. So some of the machine tool builders like that, because now they can send even their own customers and operators to the school, and they can get trained there, at least on the basics, so that they can operate their machines sufficiently. So it's a really good solution for the school and for us and for machine tool builders, because it's a really great resource. And we're teaching them the stuff the industry needs. We're also working with OMIC, that's a R&D center out in Oregon, on manufacturing innovations. There's a machine with a HEIDENHAIN 5-axis out there, mainly focusing on aerospace applications. We recently did a seminar. You can see me up here. I did a little presentation on motion control, why it's so important for 5-axis. And then we would go down to the machine and show the exact part and how we machined it and why that part came out a certain way, because we programmed it a certain way and we machined it a certain way. One thing is probably interesting for you. We just launched what we call the HEIDENHAIN Educational Support Program. And many people don't know this, but HEIDENHAIN in Germany is a foundation. So that's good from a business point of view, because we don't really have to listen to the stock market or to any analysts to tell us what to do next. HEIDENHAIN's management and the directors decide what they see as a vision on technology, what is needed in the industry, and that's what we're developing. We're basically reinvesting a lot of the revenue of the sales back into research and development, what is really the top within the industry, because we don't have to, like I said, report to shareholders, and therefore we can always be a little bit more adventurous to develop something new and more innovative than maybe some other industry competitors, for example, right? So one thing you might want to write down is the website here. It's the Heidenhain ESP, heidenhain.com website, where you find more information about this vocational school program. What it basically is, we will help you with very aggressive pricing. We give stuff away for free to a certain degree, but also give you things like technology at cost, and you can utilize that and just contact us via this email, and we get in touch with you and work with your school and figure out what is the best school tools you might use for your school. We also provide you with these posters, so you can set up your training room with some information about the digital twin and monitoring software. So those posters are provided, and here we have something about collision protection. So we help you to make your classrooms maybe look very innovative, high-end, high-tech, and we give you the tools to also fulfill that promise. So quickly to summarize, why Heidenhain for schools? We always have innovative teaching tools based on the Moodle platform. The curriculum is ready to go. We have animations, we have testing tools for you. We can provide, you have PDF files you can print out. We have technology for every training level, from Accurite all the way to Heidenhain 5-axis. We can go and provide you solutions for your entry-level machine tool, maybe help you with upgrades. We have special school pricing on that. And we can also make connections with some of our big machine tool builders who offering Heidenhain controls and work with schools to give you a specific school pricing on their equipment. We always will support your team, train your faculty, making sure they're staying sharp and being on cutting edge of this. And we also would help you, like we did with the Denver Community College, to communicate and have marketing campaigns and talk about what schools are available to promote and show Heidenhain controls and who could teach on Heidenhain control technology. I think what is really becoming the new standard in 5-axis now in the United States more and more. So this is all the time I pretty much have. We have a little time left for question and answers. If you don't get to the answers or the questions today, you can always email me directly at gledvon@heidenhain.com. Or if it's a more specific application question, maybe you already have equipment in your school, you can always reach out to our TNC application team. All of the guys monitor this email inbox, so we getting back to you and can help you immediately if you have any type of questions, problems, and you need some answers. So with that said, I give it back to Greg.
Gisbert, thank you so much. I learned more than I thought I would today, even though we've been partners for several months. It's really great to see all the wonderful things you're doing in education and training. One question I have, and then I'd like everybody that's on, please speak up. I haven't seen any questions in the chat box, but that's open for questions now. And if you'd like to turn on your cameras, Trey, go ahead and allow that to happen. We've got a small group here and mics. But the question I have is, what other types of typical machines are using the TNC controls that you might talk about?
So I think when you're looking for 5-axis machine tools, what a lot of people don't know, you can ask for the Heidenhain control. The sales guys usually want to get rid of stuff they can sell or they have an inventory, but you don't have to go for that. You just have to specifically ask, give me a Heidenhain control, and they will offer you that. So big companies like DMG Mori, Hermle, Grob, GF Machining Solutions. There's also Takumi, what is a little bit less expensive machine, what is owned by Herco. They also bring in Taiwanese machines. Exile is another machine, and then many, many more. But really, when it comes to 5-axis, you will find a Heidenhain control on those machines. What is a little bit more, I would say, high-end and more dynamic, faster machines, you will find that.
Great. Thanks for that. Any questions from the field that are the attendees today? I see Greg from Sinclair is on, and Chris Wren from Lane Community College, not too far from OMIC. We actually had a lot of work that NCATC did with the OMIC Training Center up in Oregon, Portland, 5-6 years ago, and Lane's on today. Thanks for being with us. Gisbert, while we have you, and other questions may be coming in, anybody have a question, please raise your hand or open up your mic and just speak up. But I'd like to ask Gisbert, while we're closing out with any questions that might come, give us a little overview of what's coming up with your partnership with several of our key people in our network with IMTS, the International Machine and Technology Show in September in Chicago.
Well, you know, it's going to happen this year, and I'm really happy that we finally all can meet in person again. And thanks to Greg Jones and his team at AMT, we're going to have another great show, I think, and we're going to have a nice area again for the Student Summit. That means Greg and his team is going to bring a lot of people and schools from the surrounding areas and hopefully from around the country to the school, from the schools to the show. Heidenhain is going to have a booth there. We're going to have our controls there. We're going to feature also all the stuff I just showed you, the Heidenhain interactive training. We're going to have the newest control, what is the TNC7, what will be launched for North America in this market, what is brand new and never seen before. And it's going to be unbelievable when you're going to see that. It's nothing what you will ever see or have seen on a CNC control yet. So a big surprise is going to come there. We're also going to participate in the apprentice program contest down there. That's what we're planning to do, to bring one of our apprentices to work with that. And hopefully some of you will stop by the booth. We have 2 locations, one in the East Hall and one in the Student Summit. To attract and talk to teachers, students, and help them to learn more about CNC technology and what they could utilize in their schools. Wonderful.
Well, I know NCATC will be present at the Student Summit. It'll be our third time. It's every 2-year event, of course, and we had to skip 2020, as we all know, for the big reasons. But we're looking forward to seeing you there, Gisbert, if we don't see each other before that. Any closing? I have a question from Brian Cam here. Do you have a PDF handout that you can make available so that we can forward on to companies and educational partners in our communities? Gisbert?
So yeah, what are you looking specifically for? Are you looking for the presentation? You're looking for just a PDF about the HIT program, or what is it specifically?
Looks like a PDF handout that just basically overview of your what you told us today about.
Okay, yeah, I can generate that, no problem.
Great, Brian.
The other thing I can offer you too is if anybody wants to have a smaller group and you wants to attract some of your teachers, you want to discuss it, you want to talk to your administrators to get a little bit better overview what the industry really needs, not just always looking at the nickel and dime situation, but maybe investing into the future, buying the right equipment. I can always be available to do a similar presentation for you with a WebEx. Just give me a little notice and we can set that up, or I can come to your school, whatever it takes. I like to help you. We like to help you, and that's what we're here for, because I think the industry needs the next generation of operators, and we cannot just continue with teaching them just the basic. We need to teach them now more, because the industry wants more, and they need people who are ready to go with this new technology. They don't have time to train them anymore, and you as a school should really be for them that next resource to do that for them, to get them ready.
Spot on, Gisbert. Spot on with your comments about that. I think all of our training centers, our advanced technology centers, our community colleges, all are catalysts for bringing industry and education together and helping everybody in the ecosystem understand what's out there for ability to be in the manufacturing world, which is huge. I don't see any other questions, Gisbert,
All right.
but I'd like to thank you very much for your time today and sharing all that you have with our members. I will remind everybody this is recorded and it will be up on the NCATC website within the next 48 hours. And if you want to reach out directly to Gisbert, he had his email there, and we'll share anything that you'd ask, including the PDF flyers for your networks. Again, thank you for your time, and thank you for being a great strategic partner of NCATC. And we look forward to lots more collaboration as we go forward.
All
Thank
right.
you, Gisbert.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Have a good day, everybody.